Maybe you can just run through the performance we saw today, particularly the interest we're seeing in the likes of Zenith Bank and Dangote Cement. Apparently, I heard there's some heavy trading in those stocks.
Yes, there was heavy trading today, and the trading on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange was quite exciting and better than what we had yesterday in terms of every other statistics that you may want to look at. For Zenith Bank today, we saw a good volume. It wasn't as if there was a particular buyer, but it spread across board. And we believe strongly that even, although the one for Dangote Cement was sort of concentrated within the buyer and the seller, that is, in this case, it wasn't widespread. It wasn't a stock. I mean, it wasn't a transaction that's cut across.
Okay, so it was more of a cross deal, I guess.
Every other stockbroker. It was more of that.
Okay, let's move on to Nestle, and of course, like I mentioned earlier, it's up again today, 680 naira. I mean, some people are beginning to think 1,000 naira is a possibility the way it's going now. But let's talk a bit about the, if you like, the pull effect of a stock like that and other multinational companies, consumer stocks that are also relatively highly priced. Do you think we can see, as Nestle continues to move higher, we may see those stocks on the back of that move alone continue to rise?
The possibility of that is all there. For Nestle Foods, when it did 500, everybody believed that was going to be the resting place. Yeah. But then we told a lot of investors that it's not necessarily going to be. For what we are seeing of Nestle Foods, it's quite a different scenario from every other stock. It defies analysis by earnings. It defies analysis by the liquidity, and maybe any other thing that you want to think about. But the basic thing that investors are looking at is they see it as a store of value, especially for the foreign portfolio investors, and also the and also those who are top investors within the economy. And for the way we see it, it's definitely going to have a pulling effect on the likes of Nigerian breweries, the likes of Guinness, the likes of Cadbury, and even Unilever. And we may see Unilever, we may see Cadbury getting to a mark of about 50 before the close of the year, and Unilever getting higher than 50 at the same time. And we're looking at it hereby, if Nestle Foods should cross 700, they may have the same pulling effect on Nigerian breweries. So I believe it's going to be a stimulant for price, for upward movement for stocks in the bracket of those who are already above 100 naira.
All right, let's move on to news coming out of the market today. The next set of stocks that will qualify for the market-making program of the Nigerian Stock Exchange have been announced. We have Skybank, ETI, and UBA. Of course, Skybank recently released numbers. We saw that share price come down a little bit. But your expectations as we see those stocks added to the program tomorrow, how do you anticipate those stocks trading into the session tomorrow?
Well, taking a reflection of what had happened to several other stocks when they joined the wagon of market-making stocks. For those that will be brought in tomorrow, the likes of Sky, ETI, and UBA, we are definitely going to see an upward movement in those stocks. Even if it's not going to happen at the end of the trading, but intraday trading is going to witness a huge price gain, at least something between 5 and 10%, which is the maximum that will be achievable for those stocks within trading starting from tomorrow. So I believe for some people who have taken positions today, believing that come tomorrow, it's definitely going to change. But I believe the projection they are making for tomorrow is definitely going to come alive. And for the likes of Sky and UBA, for me, I believe those stocks for now, they are underpriced. Because I see a UBA that may be doing an after-tax of about 70 billion at the end of this year. That will translate to over 2 naira earnings per share. And if such a stock is still at what it is now, at over 5 naira, I see that stock getting higher than 7 naira at the end of the financial year. in December 31st.
Of course, you are just simply echoing the sentiment of many analysts that the banking sector we continue to see value in that space. But let's talk a bit about the impact of the inflation numbers today. In your view, any impact? We saw inflation come down to 11.3% for September. It's definitely positive news for the bond market. And would you say it's also positive for the equity space?
I believe it's positive because it makes the people, investors alike, to begin to see the market as a more positive end with the trend of things happening. And when even foreign investors look at it the way it is, they believe strongly that the Nigerian market is coming up and is quite a better opportunity than the way they were seeing it before. So definitely we're going to get more pump of funds into the market, and we all know what effect that is going to be on the market, which is more liquidity, more transactions, and higher prices for those stocks that have the right fundamentals.